Gentlemen, welcome to the series opener of Weeknight Warrior Sim series. It's the first race of the season. It's a 14 race season, and we're here at one of my favorite tracks to get things opened up. It's Daytona, Luke.
Yeah, Kevin, like you said, definitely one of the favorite tracks out here. We're a big fan of the super speedways out here, but we're just diving into the qualifying out here, and it looks like we got, let's see, Jeremiah Nelson just wrapping his up. See
Yeah,
who
and
we got
we're
on here
getting
right
some
now.
guys qualifying here, and we always talk about how there's two different strategies to qualifying at these super speedways. Some guys want us to kind of hang out in the back and let the race develop in front of them, and other guys want to get out there, get some laps let in early, maybe get some bonus points, maybe get some luck ahead of the cautions. What kind of strategy are you kind of leaning towards here on a 90 lap super speedway race?
Well, Kevin, I was just taking a gander over here while I was listening to your question there, just at how many drivers we got on the field out here, and we got just shy of 40 drivers out here. So,
Whew.
I mean, in my opinion, if it were up to me, I'd be wanting to kind of stay near the back and avoid most of this out here. We're in for a decently long length race today, so I would say probably start somewhere near the back and then try to play it safe up here maybe for the first half. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I typically say the same, but we got some experienced drivers putting up qualifying times. Like Kenny McCullough Jr. of MMS. I mean, there's no surprise to me that he's on the pole right now, and I know his kind of strategy here is going to try to be in front of the Rex, and I can't really go against that.
Yeah, either stay in front of it and stay away from it or stay behind it and get around it once you see it.
Yep,
Either way,
that's
not
the
a bad
goal.
strategy. I think everyone's under the same impression, though, trying to avoid the early wrecks. And you'll have to remind me, do we know what the fast repair limit is out here on the night?
Yeah, just taking a look here, it looks like there is gonna be one fast repair on 4 sets of tires.
Okay.
Um, Reading open setup, which is interesting. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Other than that, it's just the basics out here. As RC's going over the rules right now, we're seeing a couple more qualifying laps be put up. Kian Fry is going to move into that 5th position here with a good lap.
We're watching Heath Job getting some speed up on the back straightaway there.
Yeah, just right now it's looking like Kenny McCullough and Al Likens on the front row with two very, very, very quick laps.
Dawson Price gets a good one there. 51-1-1.
There goes Heath Job into the 5th position. Going to be starting right now on that 3rd row. Good spot to be, in my opinion. You're not, too involved, but at the same time, you're there if you need to be.
And currently the only one still on the track qualifying right now, Danny Barnes, making his way through 1 and 2.
And I'm seeing Danny still on the track, putting up his lap. But other than that, Luke, it looks like we have a field of 43 out here, done qualifying early, with 2.5 minutes left on the qualifying session.
Either way, we're in for a good one out here, I imagine.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Let's see what Danny puts up here as he's coming to the start-finish. Ooh, it's going to put him just into 11th place there, just shy of the top 10. And, my only concern would be, running this and doing my best to bust ass and try to get up within that, top bunch to stay away from everybody and then just getting my ass kicked and then get stuck right in the middle.
Yeah, and I honestly believe I think the worst spot to start this race you could be is around that 20th position. At that point, I'd almost rather just lose another 10, 15 spots just to be behind all the action because I feel like around 20, 25 is where you're going to probably get involved in the most incidents. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there on that one. I mean, it's a tough one to call out here. I mean, we've seen these cars run in the practice race. What was that? 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago at
Yeah,
Talladega.
2 weeks ago at Talladega.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a chance to see what these drivers can do, and for the most part, they held it together pretty well there. For the most part, I remember a couple incidents here and there, but I think we're in for a pretty good race out here. I don't think it's going to be too wreck filled, but we're gonna have to see out here as the qualifying results are slowly waiting to come through out here on the screen whenever they decide to come through.
Yeah, just a couple takeaways from that race a couple weeks ago. A couple things I noticed at least. The bumper hooks were still a thing. Were definitely in effect later in the race. We didn't see too many, but gonna have to be careful with your pushes. A second thing I noticed is that there was, for a few guys, kind of holding in between lines and then getting split. So gonna have to try not to get split. It's a little harder to get split here at Daytona due to it not being as wide, but still definitely possible. So a couple things there. I think these guys are gonna have to, figure out, but they've got 90 laps to do so, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, and another thing to point out there, the track is a lot less forgiving for mistakes, that's for sure. A lot steeper of a track angle. Definitely shorter as well. Any idea what we're waiting on here, or if it's just
I hear some RC rules being gone over right now.
Sorry, I was just wondering why the qualify results were coming up. There we go. We got our qualify results being shown on screen there. Just a little impatient with the program, that's all.
Oh, I got you. But yeah, it's a great qualifying lap out here for Kenny McCullough getting pole in the season opener. Then how about Al Likens in second place here to get things started? Then it's going to be Richard Elliott and Hunter Azell on the second row. Heath Job and Kian Fry, third row. Jaden Knight and Dawson Price. Kyle Van Drunen and Jeremiah Nelson. Sixth row is going to be Danny Barnes and Nicholas Warner. Travis Farmer and Nathan Swafford. Christopher McCullough of MMS as well, and Ty Carino. Jeremy Osborne and Garrett Hummel. Reagan Shockley and David McCullough. John Marino and Matt Morrison. Aiden Stevens and Nolan Gross. Zeb Johnson and Daryl Johnson. Jeffrey Bourne and Omar Rodriguez Jr. Blaze Belling and Nick Hames. James Hudson and Buster Malcolm. Justin Ziamiki and Logan Murray. Houston Galena and Henry Gench is going to take up your 36-car field of guys that qualified and hit the track out here. That is a big field, Luke.
I know we mention it all the time, Kevin, but just the turnout. The turnout's pretty solid out here. 36 drivers registered right now. They're going to be hitting the track here shortly, and I believe they're hitting the grid here now. Yep, there they are. We see the field. Kenny McCullough.
I'm no math whiz, but that's about 30 more drivers than the Ninth Gear Racing Association was able to scrounge together.
You know, it's too soon, Kevin. Too soon. Either way, Kenny McCullough going to be leading them off here. Al Likens going to be leading that second line.
And before we get this thing going, a huge shout out to our sponsors of tonight. It's going to be the same sponsors that we had 2 weeks ago. They're kind enough to have us back here. It's going to be Skid Row Motorsports and 760 Graphics for all your sim racing paint scheme needs. If you want to get in contact for a new paint scheme, contact Heath Job or us, and we will direct you towards Heath Job. So huge shout out to them over at SRM.
Absolutely, and just something to quickly point out here, Kevin. I count 5 cars all going to be starting.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, speaking of SRM, I'm noticing all 5 SRM drivers starting in the pits here.
Yeah, definitely interesting. You got to wonder, is that a part of the strategy out here? We'll have to see. Everybody else going to be taking the field. Jumping back up here to your leaders. Once again, like we said, Kenny McCullough going to be leading this one. Likens on the outside.
Yeah, and we're reading caution here. And I did hear from race control that there's going to be a 1-lap hold just to get some things sorted out. So I think they aren't going to go green here. We're going to go around one time, then we're going to go green.
Gotcha. Not a problem out here, and you know, Just gives us a little bit of time to maybe sift through a couple of these paint schemes if we really want to.
Yeah, and while you do that, I'm gonna get a first poll of the season going here.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Is our first race of the season, so let's set a little line here. What you got?
We got. Go with a little caution line here, Luke. I set the line, it's 90 laps. I set it at 7.5 cautions. So do we think we're going to see 7 or less, or 8 or more cautions? What do you think, Luke?
I'll take the 7 or less.
7 or less? You think it's going to be a clean race out here? I'll fade you. I'll take the over. I'll take the 8 or more, just because, you know, it's a fresh season. Got to get the jitters out at some point. I know we said that was kind of the point of the preseason race, but at the same time, this is a different beast. I think we're gonna see some mistakes being made. You know, I'm not hoping for it, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised to see 8 or more cautions. It's a long evening.
I guess we'll see out here, but you know, definitely an exciting track nonetheless, and as we keep saying, a nice field to be had out here, and I think we're gonna have a good race.
And look, I'm curious with this whole holding for a lap thing, what this is going to do to those guys that are sitting in the pits and waiting to start for the pits. Are we seeing them go a lap down due to it?
Yeah, it appears that way.
That's kind of what I was reading, but I didn't know if it was a visual bug because they've yet to leave the pits yet, and we're technically on the second lap now, but we'll see how that scores out. But
who knows?
I know if I was one of those 5 drivers, I'd be starting to get a little bit nervous as the guys are still pacing around here, soon to go on to lap 3.
Definitely would be starting to get a little nervous there, but still pacing around out here with the lights off. I believe we're going to be going green this time. It's going to be Kenny McCullough's command here. So I believe we'll see the pace car make its way in here. That we will. And we're going to be getting ready to get this thing underway. It's the closer restart. The lamp's lit and the flagman's going crazy. We're racing. First race of the series out here.
Season here.
Oh,
and a
boy.
not so great start for that inside line.
And
that's going to cause a lot of transfers, starting from the number 54 here of Dawson Price. And they're all coming in to help out Kenny McCullough. Oh! And the 99 is turning.
Spin it out! Oh,
over
and he
the nose
collides
of
with
the 3
another
of
one.
Kenny McCullough, and it's the big one.
Oh, boy. Oh, and they're still bumping around. The 2 collides. We're still seeing smoke in the air. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that one happened right on the nose of Kenny McCullough, and Cian Fry just went for a ride. I don't know if it was a self-clear moment, a panic to try to get to the bottom as we saw the momentum building up down there, or if it was Kenny McCullough's fault. I don't know. We're going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. We'll be watching we'll go and watch the overhead here. So we can get a sense of this one. Okay, it happens up a little further.
It's going to happen up by Kenny McCullough Jr. It seems like he was able to get out of this.
Oh, it was between him and the 99.
Like that's Cian Fry, or Cian Fry.
Yeah. We're going to be probably watching Cian Fry. You know, we'll go and watch the overhead of Cian Fry here.
He's got a huge run here, kind of sitting on that second line, but then he sees the other guys transfer.
He thinks he's clear and comes down.
McCullough does come up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, man. Resulting quite a few vehicles there with some contact.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one because we saw McCullough go up a little bit, but we definitely saw Kian Fry and the 99 go down a little bit,
Oh.
and he's got some substantial damage
The
here.
78 tries to avoid it. He's going to take quite a bit, and so does who does at the 31, 32. 32 there takes a hard shot, and of course the three that go below the infield. Two of them come together. I assume the 102 there and the is a 31 there. I'm assuming those two came together from a brake check incident, and the two catches the 99 there right at the end of it. Definitely an unfortunate incident here early on, and bringing us to our first official caution out here, I believe, of the night. Well, we're already seeing some pit takers.
Yeah, some pits, and it's going to start with the 03. Maybe a little bit of damage there on the back end of that MMS Chevrolet.
And just taking a look there, not seeing too much, but maybe opting to just go in, just be safe, you know. And we're seeing everybody from about 12th back in the pit lane right now, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm just, what's kind of surprising to me, I'm trying to find out what the word is on those 5 guys that were pinned down a lap due to just starting from the pits.
As everybody makes their way through the pit cycle. Scoreboard recycles there, and it's going to be Al Likens here, I believe, with the lead. He is going to be your race leader. He started on the outside line here to start this race, and he's going to have his jump here on the inside now to start this one off here.
Well, look, I bought a little early interview here to get things going. I know we got a couple of seconds.
And I heard now we have permission to be able to drag him in here. Let's do it. Yeah, bring someone in here.
If we get the kind of the heart of that incident there, Kian Fry. I know he had some damage, so maybe not going to be the happiest, but I'd like to see what he has to think about that incident.
Yeah, let's hear what he's got to say. Bring him in. I got it. Hold on.
We're gonna wait a second because he's actually talking to RC, like right when I was about to drag him.
I was about to click the button. I can't lie. On your go.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Alright, seems to be done. If you want to try to drag him, it's not working for me.
Yep,
but it
here
might
you go.
just be my.
Okay, well, I can't do it either. We will not be getting an interview, it seems.
Kind of what happened with me. I clicked the move to broadcast booth button.
Yeah, it just really didn't work. Well,
Whoa.
we will not have an input on that one, so it'll be left up to interpretation here. Either way, it's going to recycle here with Al Likens here leading this one, and Hunter Azell on that outside line.
Yeah, Al Likens with a great qualifying lap. We saw him starting on the front row, and then Hunter Azell up 2 spots, so not too big of movers there on that front row. But Jeremiah Nelson has made it up from that 10th position up into 3rd here early, maybe on a mission. And then your biggest mover of the evening so far is going to be Henry Gensch up into 14th place from dead last. That's a 22 spot transfer.
He's rocking the number 67 car.
Lights are off on the pace car, meaning we are going to be going green this time by. It's going to be Likens and Azell on the front row here. Pace car is in. It's going to be the command of Al Likens here for the second time this evening, hoping it can last a little bit longer. And we are green, green, green. Here comes Al Likens with a great jump. A lot better from both sides this time as opposed to the last start. And we are rolling in the Amazon Prime car of Al Likens. Up through the gears we go. Decent spacing between Al Likens and Jeremiah Nelson behind him. But here comes the 19 car of Hunter Azell on the outside. Not too much help, but David McCullough's getting to the back bumper as quickly as possible. Side by side for the lead between Likens and Azell. That outside line is starting to get more numbers as it was kind of bunched out, but now we see about 6 of them close enough to each other. And those 6 on the outside line are really the only 6 on the whole field on that outside line. It seems like everyone else is kind of just single file, minding their P's and Q's right now. But the 32 of Jaden Knight, a little bit of space between him and the 54 of Dawson Price on that outside line, maybe causing them to not have as much speed as that inside line.
Yeah, but then
As
again,
Al Likens.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, Al Likens is just able to tack on the laps let out here on that inside line.
I was gonna kick on there. It's still very, very early on in this thing. We got a 90-lap race only on lap 6. Probably no crazy reason to be, pushing like crazy. And the 19 transfer down low, and that's gonna lead on the outside line to the 54 of Dawson Price.
And I'd like to point out to all of you out there tracking the progress of SRM who started from the pits. They are on the lead lap. I don't know if it was a visual bug off the beginning or if it was them getting their laps back on their pacing. But regardless, all 5 of them have made their way back onto the lead lap. And we're able to kind of stay clear of that incident there that happened. It was not a bad decision. Look, we're about to have a little bit of a breakaway here.
I was just about to say.
It kind of looks like all the way from Al Likens back to Matt Morrison.
Dawson Price and Jaden Knight leading that second group as the front group started to break away.
Half a second of a gap, so not lost, as now they're kind of starting to reel it in a little bit, but definitely scary. I know they were probably starting to get a little nervous there. They're going to lose it. Now down to 0.3 of a second, so they are in the draft and able to stay in the pack, but that would have been very helpful to the front 6 if they were able to break that away.
They're going to have a run, too.
Yeah, they are. They're not
Dawson
going to
Price.
forfeit either. Here comes Dawson Price on that outside line.
They got
getting
4.
pushed by the 92 of Omar Rodriguez, the winner of the preseason race 2 weeks ago.
He's looking to probably get that first, had good luck in the preseason races, but I want to get it done for real out here now.
Absolutely. Oh, and we see one dip below the line. That was the 67 of Henry Gench, I do believe, down a lap. Now Omar Rodriguez finds himself on the inside line leading this thing, getting pushed around by the 88 of Jeremiah Nelson. We see a little, I want to say 7-car pack back a few seconds off the leaders, all working together, in their own single file. And that pack is going to be led by Kenny McCullough all the way back to Nicholas Horner. So interesting to see a little bit of, different strategies being played out here. Take a look at the map, there's a lot of spreading out for us just being 10 laps in.
we know Kenny was involved in that early incident out here. You got to wonder if that's got to do anything with where he's sitting right now. But he's got Christopher behind him, so I imagine they're going to be looking to make it work out here. Still pretty early into this one. We're on lap 11 of 90. That front group is still too wide out here. A lot more manpower on the inside line, though. Not too many takers wanting to go up to that second line yet. Get a little nervous after that first wreck.
And as it goes, it's still going to be Omar Rodriguez leading this thing, and they're about single file 4 deep, all the way back to David McCullough, maybe Matt Morrison if you want to call it. But then Dawson Price is still working that outside line, still trying to find a way to make that work. Accompanied by the 48 of Jeffrey Bourne pushing him, but there's only 4 guys up there. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Bit of an awkward push there on that second line, it looked like.
Yeah, I'm keeping my attention focused also on that second pack, led by Kenny McCullough, Christopher McCullough, Danny Barnes. And they are closing in the gap.
Up into the wall, I believe, is Blaze Billing there.
Yeah, right as I was saying, if they're closing the gap, they're going to have some trouble in the front pack, which is probably going to make it a little bit easier. I know it wasn't huge troubles, but, you know, every little checkup helps.
And that's going to massively bring most of the drivers on down to that inside line. That outside line is almost completely disadvantaged.
Yeah, and here comes the run by that second group we were talking about. They're going around the car right now. I think they're going around. I'm not sure, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe a lap car. Regardless, they are on a mission to catch that main pack, led by Omar Rodriguez still.
We're watching the front bumper of Kenny McCullough just to see where that group's coming. And boy, they are coming up with some speed right now, Kevin. They're going to have one hell of a run here.
Yeah, and I doubt they'd forfeit it. And to be honest with you, those 4 guys that are on that top line are probably kind of waiting for it, waiting for some more numbers. We see Dawson Price up there still on that second line. We know he's been trying to work it all 14 laps as of so far. They caught him. They are in the draft now. So it's going to be a matter of what they do with it. Are they just going to file in? Seems like they are. That's going to be the move for Kenny McCullough. A conservative one, but it is very early here in this race. But Dawson Price didn't need him because he is now side by side for the lead up here. And is he going to clear here in turn 3?
He had it, but he's not going to
up. Yeah. You know, him and the 48 of Jeffrey Bourne worked very well together so far, but I gotta imagine if Jeffrey Bourne sees this and he's probably wanting him to drop in, I think he's probably pretty hot.
He's gonna come down with him.
That's gonna give a huge opportunity now to the 99 of Kean Fry because he's got fresh temps with Blaze Billing behind them. And they still have 4, maybe 5 cars up there on that second line. We're going to see if they're going to be able to do anything. Because we know the 80 or the 48 of Jeffrey Bourne has to be at least a little bit hot.
I'd also like to point out that Fry's also running on a pressure car out there. He was even faster here and there after that first incident.
Yeah. Unfortunate for that, but it doesn't seem like it scared him at all as he's getting right back out here and racing.
A lot of people after an incident like that would want to stay in the back and stay out of it, but he's choosing to push through it and trying to get up here in the front to try to stay out of it as well. It seems like everybody else after about, what is that, 7 cars back, maybe? Or all single file.
Here comes some lap traffic
Gonna
in the
stay
20
right where
car.
he is.
Yeah,
That's
not
be
gonna
dangerous.
budge.
He's gonna go down below the line here, going into 3.
Oh! And there's a little bit of wrecking towards the back. I
Oh.
think it was saved. I want to go back and see who that was, but I just got a glimpse of a car sideways there for a second.
I got a feeling I might have had something to do with our lap traffic car, maybe.
Yeah, I'd imagine so too. It looks like it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, the lap car came back onto the track in the middle of the turn.
Yeah, it's gonna happen to the 74 of Aiden Stevens. As they're kind of, all getting around and trying to, and yeah, unfortunately, that lap car up to 20 is just gonna make it too difficult. But both saved it. Everyone saved it. We're still green out here.
Speaking of unfortunate again, the group that had finally caught back up to the main, the main pack, being led by Kenny McCullough last time, is now separated again. But they're getting regrouped now, and they're going to try to make that run back up to the front.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if this was still sort of a strategy deal. I mean, there's a lot of laps left. At this point, I don't know if Kenny McCullough, I think he still has his fast repair, but he did have a little bit of damage from that first incident, I do believe. So maybe just kind of taking it back a notch, knowing that they still have over 70 laps in this race, and just kind of chilling in their own world. Fry is going to fight back for as they're side by side. The 09 of Travis Farmer is going to be the pusher on that top side.
6 was clear there for a minute, does not take it.
And look, what we're seeing now is a little bit of a breakaway here. I want to say a 14-car front pack, and then 2 seconds back to the next group. So it's going to be interesting to see if that stays, as 2 separate groups, or if that second group kind of gets on their saddle and gets going. Because I don't know about you, but my goal in any sort of super speedway racing is just try to be in that impact, because you never know when the longest green flag run is going to happen.
And it just might be now, you never know. They seem to have the space. Everyone's single file up there in that front group. They don't have any reason to really race it too hard.
Yeah, and a few of the guys around here up the front are splitting up that laps led statistic, as we see Blaze Billing now with a good handful. We saw Kean Fry with a good handful, we saw Rodriguez with a good handful. Kind of just swapping around, but right now it's completely single file. I think they found a rhythm they like.
Like I said, I don't think anyone's really wanting to risk it too much out here, as we still got a lot of racing left to go.
catching up on a little bit more lap traffic out here. Joe, I believe. He's going to stay high and let the single file leaders storm through, going about 20 miles an hour faster.
Just a show of the difference in pace here when you got some draft partners. They blow right by Heath Job.
Pick up a push here as a lap car. Well, I spoke too soon because now they're work their way through that.
Pretty wide there briefly. Painter follows in line. As everybody else brings it back together here, single file for the most part, but a couple of them decide to keep it too wide.
Blaze Billings still leading this thing, followed by Key and Fry. Those two have been working together very nicely so far. The second line, though, it's starting to get more and more people.
Second line is starting to bring things together. A couple of guys starting to catch up here. Blaze Billing gonna opt to go up there to that high line. Take the block and oh! The number 7 goes for the split! He's gonna run up to the wall! And oh boy, that's going to cause a bit of a check up there all the way through. The 5 goes up into the wall there. Still trying to hold it together. Boy. That was one hell of a checkup on that second line as everybody manages to hold it together.
Yeah, and what a save there by Blaze Billing and Danny Barnes.
That's going to about kill the momentum that that second line had together there. As I believe they are now passing some more lap traffic. Number 12.
That's what Zeb Johnson going his, I do believe, second lap down now.
Up behind that outside line. Outside line now regathered their strength. Now they're back together. They're going to probably have a run here down the back straightaway. Kind of see them catching that second group being led by Buster Malcolm right now. About to go through the tri-oval. Still on the lead lap, but going to be at risk of being overtaken by the leaders here before too long as they're making their way through the tri-oval now.
All this cycles through. Key and Fry still leading this thing. Dawson Price as the primary pusher. Jeffrey Bourne and Omar Rodriguez takes up your top 4.
And just some of the...
just looking, I think that's Blaze Billings kind of gets stranded out now and fading even further as he's going to fall back to 16th place.
Is, yeah, he files up behind that outside line. Outside line now regathered their strength. Now they're back together. Kind of see them catching that second group being led by Buster Malcolm right now. About to go through the tri-oval. Still on the lead lap, but going to be at risk of being overtaken by the leaders here before too long as they're making their way through the tri-oval now.
All this cycles through. Key and Fry still leading this thing. Dawson Price as the primary pusher. Jeffrey Bourne and Omar Rodriguez takes up your top 4. what was a very good spot for him. And then another thing I'm noticing here is that that group of, you know, the SRM guys and McCulloughs have made their way back into the pack. We saw Danny Barnes and Jeremy Osborne both kind of have been climbing alongside each other. Somewhere along the way, Heath Joe got separated and has gone down. We got Christopher and Kenny McCullough and Nicholas Warner. I think those three were also working with that group. They are kind of sitting around the late teens, early 20s as far as positions go. So kind of different levels of aggression now that that group has caught up to the main pack.
Something to throw out there, the little Q&A we got up on the screen there. Let us know who you're rooting for and give us a bit of an idea of who we're swapping to with the cameras here for you guys. But oh, we see the 32 cleared! Right across the nose, and oh boy. We see wrecking coming through the grass, but we're still green out here. As it seems it was contained to just 2 drivers. Jaden Knight making his way into pit lane. You saw he was heavily involved with that one, but we're still green out here. We're going to quickly try to go back and watch that one real quick. We're watching Jaden Knight here. Gets up high, hits the wall, and oh, comes right across the nose. Heath Picasso Jobs. And that's going to be an unfortunate one for him, but it seems to be contained to just the 2. And everybody else still remains up in the front. The smoke is still above the entrance there, so as the leaders go by now.
And look, I can't help but notice that you're trying some new nicknames here tonight, so, you know, if the chat's got any ideas as well for some nicknames, you know, we're all ears.
Yeah, absolutely.
That being said, Kian Fry is still leading, but that outside line has found its pace again. And it's going to be Danny Barnes pushing around Jeremiah Nelson. Clear by 1, not clear by 2. Now, Osborne is going to be pushing his teammate with no help behind him.
And you know, that little incident there drastically cut up the main group there, Kevin. We see guys in that second group back being led by, I believe, Richard Elliott. Or no, Heath Job is in front of that technically with Richard Elliott pushing him. But likely they're just supporting his teammate there. He wants to keep Heath Job with him to give him the support and to try to get him back on that lead lap as he is currently sitting a lap down.
It. I'm getting in on the chat. Blaze Outlaw Billing. I think that's a good one. I'll have to write that one down.
Very fun, very fun. He's got one fun-looking paint scheme out there, Kevin. I like the Miami Vice kind of colorway there, almost. Palm trees and stuff, very nice. He was running up front there for a while, and he's made his way back into about 16th place out here, and I believe they're sitting just a little bit back on that main group up here. They need to get things tightened up here if they really want to make a run here. He's going to let the number 18 in here, or 78, sorry.
Yeah. And after a couple very close calls earlier, I'd say the most important takeaway is his car is still clean and he's still in this race, which is more than a couple of the other guys can say. So, all in all, not a bad start to the day for Blaze Billing, the Outlaw.
We see that front group up there still fighting too wide up here, so the more they race like that, the more chances those guys behind them have to make up time and get a chance to get called back up into this thing, although there are only 2 up there competing on that second line, but they're still getting enough side draft to make it work out here.
Yeah, it's still that Osborne Barnes group that kind of doesn't really have anywhere to go. They can't really file back in, but they've lost the majority of their help by, you know, being successful in clearing them, and it's kind of punished them in a sense that I just don't see them both being able to clear in front of the 88.
And we saw that second group back there making their way around some lap traffic out here. 2 guys going into the pits right now. We got
here comes
and here comes the majority. As we see a lot of guys coming into the pits here. Ian Fry making his way in here. He's the front runner of that group. You see a lot making their way in. We're reading about 8. I'm reading 10 now. It's from about 11th place through 20th right now, taking their pit cycle. And I believe we're starting to see our first pit cycle through, Kevin.
Absolutely, we are, and I think these guys are really running on fumes at this point, so I wouldn't imagine we're going to see anybody staying out for much longer, as right now we only see 10 out.
Probably in addition to why there's not very many people running that outside line as the time trickles down on that fuel window. We see a few more making their way down. It's going to be Jeremiah Nelson and Travis.
Jeremiah Nelson. I'm surprised we only saw those 2, but a little bit of a different strategy being played out now by kind of the 5 guys that we talked about on that alternate strategy here early. Maybe we're able to save some fuel.
Now, one other one up there in the mix, Kevin Keith Job. He's trying to fight to make up some time. Or wait a minute, sorry, I don't think that was the right car. It was? Is Heath Job? He's up there near the front.
Well, yeah, he's fighting to make up his lap, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's fighting to make up a lap. You see Blades slowing down a little there. Because now your 2 race leaders going to be the McCullows. As the rest of them
here
now
comes
come down
3
a
more
bit.
pits. It's going to be Osborne, Elliott, Hummel. Here come Daryl Johnson and Nicholas Warner. We see a lot of pits here. It's not the rest of the group. We still see 3 guys staying out. Or, I'm sorry, we see 2 staying out, just the McCullows.
They're going to opt to run this one just a lap longer out here. We'll see if they decide to bring it on in. I imagine they will. That group making their pit cycle. We're seeing that group that went in before them starting their exit now. See them on the map.
Here come what I would imagine is going to be the last 2 McCullows to pit.
Oh, and Kenny's hard into the wall!
Oh!
Oh, no! Kenny goes into the wall, and that smashes up his front bumper.
Smashes it up, and I'd imagine with the force that he went in with, that he might be getting an unsafe entry penalty as well. Just locking him up on these old tires, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, it will, and he's going to bring her on around.
And what it's really going to hurt here is not only him, but Christopher McCullough as well, because those 2 were planning on leaving the pits together. Still, you know, able to, it seems. A good recovery maybe by Kenny McCullough, but...
Kenny making his way out now. Maybe taking his fast repair or opting not to take any repairs at all. Now, I still see his front bumper a little bit smashed up. I mean, all things considered, when he went in, the damage didn't really look substantial. But either way, it's an unfortunate incident there going into the pits for him. But Christopher McCullough still leads this thing as Kenny files back into about 11th. It's going to be a little further than that as the rest of the group makes their way around him. He's back to 13th. Chris won't be able to hang out there for too long by himself as that rest of the group is coming up with some speed right now. We get to see another good view of that speed difference for these cars. They fly right around Christopher McCullough. He's going to go up high there to try to catch into that draft, and he likely will do so. Danny Barnes, now your race leader, catching up on some lap traffic here. And oh, the lap traffic gets him all to the wall. And oh, no. Oh, and he's still sideways. Oh, jeez. No. The lap traffic causes the
McCullough,
second big
Barnes, one. Ezel, Nelson, all with heavy damage here.
Oh, jeez.
The story of the night, lap traffic being a problem, is continuing here. This time it's going to be 67.
That was a nasty one. Yeah, we're going to have to go back and take a look at that one, as that's going to bring us to our second caution of the night. And you know, you hate to see it, the lap traffic being an issue out here. We're going to go ahead and go back. That was Henry Gench here. We're going to go and look at the You know, we'll go and watch the blimp view first. We'll see if we can get a good little overhead view of what this one looked like. Race leaders, we know they're coming up with some speed. Just a little indecisive of where he wanted to be. Unfortunate, leads to quite the big one, Kevin, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely. Not only big in terms of cars involved, but big in terms of strategy, because we only saw a handful of cars there on that front pack, and now this is going to wad them up, and this is going to make it a race for a lot more than the 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it was cars that were in that main pack. And Danny Martin's unfortunately getting some late damage there, as everyone was kind of scattering around trying to avoid the initial wreck. He gets hooked on the right rear.
As we see that incident collects about 5 cars there at the very least in some degree. That brings us to our next pit cycle, Kevin. Everybody's making their way through right now. We're a little late digging through the replay there, watching that one, but everybody's making their way through the pits now. It looks like it's going to be Richard Elliott leading this out of the exit.
And also, kind of a saving grace here, I do believe. Let me get a double check here. Yeah, saving grace for Kenny McCullough is he's still in the lead lap. I know he had some issues regarding damage and a rough pit stop for him, but the caution's going to fly. He's going to be right back in the main pack. Just taking a look here at the poll, it's looking like the over on 7.5 cautions is the favorite, 64 to 36% on 11 votes. So more people out here thinking that we're going to have some cautions here as opposed to under, and I think that was our second. So the pace for the under is looking really well, but we know how these cautions can start stacking up at the end of the race when everyone's kind of giving it their 100.
And it looks like it's going to be Richard Elliott here leading this one away. I believe the 23 there waiting to make up his lap. John Marino is going to be the lucky dog, I believe, on this one. We'll be pacing around out here, Kevin, and the light is off the pace car, so we'll be going green this time by. The pit cycles have been made, and I believe we saw about 5, maybe 6 vehicles in the pits there on that one.
Yeah, and it's going to be the command here of Richard Elliott and Dawson Price. Richard Elliott is going to have choice off the inside here. Garrett Hummel's going to be his pusher, and Omar Rodriguez is going to be the outside line of Dawson Price's pusher.
Pace car's in, and we're going green once again. Here we go, making our way up through the gears. Richard Elliott and Dawson Price here leading both lines.
Great jump here for that outside line as Dawson Price is cleared by maybe 2 car lengths. Omar Rodriguez is going to come give him a big shot. And how about Hunter Ezell is going to clear in. Ooh, the 13 thought about it. Rodriguez and Hunter Ezell. Second line as strong as it's been all night because everyone's back in the field together. How about, I think that's the 13 of Dave McCullough trying to get things working on that top side. And I do believe, oh, another hops up. It's going to be Danny Barnes coming up to see if the top line will be nice to him. Oh, a little bit of wall action there at the tail end of that second line.
Second line's got the vehicles now. Gotta wonder if these guys are looking to up the intensity here after that last pacing cycle.
Yeah, and Dawson Price is gonna hop up, but he's gonna get split by Danny Barnes.
3 wide now. This is a dangerous situation.
Statement move from there for Barnes as 54. I can imagine is not gonna forget about that one.
Well, he's definitely not gonna be the happiest here, but he's got time to make up those missed positions here now.
Dawson Price still fading in the wall a little bit. Omar Rodriguez is going to be the leader. 27 spots from his starting position.
A lot of transfers being made now. A lot of people deciding which lines they want to take here.
Yep.
We just got spectrums.
Yep.
We just got spectrums for a second.
Stream still up?
I think we're good. Just give me a quick check.
Yep.
Okay. We're good. Sorry, folks. We had a little bit of a spectrum issue there for a second. But we seem to be all good now.
Are you positive it wasn't just a Discord issue?
No, it made the whole stream like pause and say it was reconnecting and stuff.
Huh. Well, beats me to hell. Yep. Omar Rodriguez still leading this thing, but how about the dive in from Hunter Ezell to make him something to lead it on? Omar Rodriguez is going to drop down now, and that's going to give Richard Elliott command of that outside line, and they are going to soar. Clear by 2. It's going to be Elliott and Barnes. And here comes the 13 of David McCullough, now the leader of the outside line as they take those spots.
Richard Elliott still leading this thing here on the inside line here, and it looks like it's going to be David McCullough on that outside line, I believe, there on number 13. Yep, he's leading that second line right now. The sideline's got, oh, and we see one get shot way below the yellow there. He's going to make his way back up onto the track there. Is the number 9 of Al Likens. Just retained most of his speed there. Richard Elliott, still your race leader out here. He's been leading quite a few so far. We are officially 50 laps into this thing and over the halfway point now. Wide now back there through the bunch, as I believe we're seeing a bit of splitting going on right now and a lot of lead transfers, or line transfers, sorry, back there. We're going to see a little bit of a breakaway going on now between those top 5 drivers. Ending with Travis Farmer. 2 wide back there behind him is Reagan Shockley and Matt Morrison. Everybody else still filing in. Single file wide for the most part back there. Everyone trying to catch up. That second line does not have the drivers anymore that it once had. Second line has made up the speed, and they're caught up to the front line now. It's being led by Al Likens.
Yeah, Al Likens, who we haven't talked about
Shockley is leading that
too much. He's the pusher of the outside line. He started in 3rd place here on the evening, and he's clawed his way back, or started in 2nd place. He clawed his way back a little bit now. How about Reagan Shockley getting the first lead of their evening for a second?
For Richard Elliott, he's been leading the most amount of laps as of lately. Just now, they're finally getting someone up there to give him a bit of run for his money.
Transfers being made. Al Likens finds his way to the inside line and to the lead now.
Slide down to the inside line now. Jeremy Osborne leading that second group now. They're single file for the most part. Oh, as soon as we go back, sideways is one of the cars right there. I believe that is going to be the 760 of Heath Joe. And he is now missing a whole front fender. And oh boy, that is going to be an unfortunate one for him there.
And I'm reading only one from RC, so they're staying green out here. Christopher McCullough's going to fall a lap down. I want to safely get to the wall, though, and make things easy. Which we've seen be an issue a couple times this evening. Now Jeremiah Nelson back in the pushing position where he's been for a lot of this evening. I know him and Dawson Price have both been pushing quite a bit this evening, and now Al Likens is going to get some laps low.
It's not hard to get up there back to the front now. I know he's started up there near the front to begin this thing. A little high there off on that line, but Jeremiah Nelson going to be giving him the room here and giving him the push now as they go across the first line.
And now I'm reading this front pack has about 12 cars in it, with David McCullough at the tail end. And Jeremy Osborne and Kenny McCullough are in that second pack back. They are looking dangerous as they are all single file. Got a good almost 10 cars, I want to say, back there, all working together single file as far as they can. I think they're going to catch them. And I think that's going to make this way more interesting race because we get an extra 10 cars involved. Ask you that question I ask just about every broadcast, and it's who do you think has the best shot here to win this thing from what you've seen so far?
You know, tough to say, Kevin. I'm gonna put it between two right now. I'm gonna be riding on two if that's all right.
That's fine.
I'm gonna take one Al Likens because one, he started up in the front. We know I don't think he was heavily involved in one of those incidents back there, but either way, he made his way back to the middle of the pack and was able to fight all the way back up here to the front. So we know he's had the experience of being up here in the front and making his way back. My other pick there would have to be Omar Rodriguez. You know, one to repeat history from the practice race we had back at Talladega. He's been hanging up near the top 10 all night, so if I had to make my two picks, it would probably be those two. I'm going to bounce that question back to you, though, Kevin. What do you think? Who would you take in this?
Yeah, I mean, I like your picks, I do, but if I had to pick a different guy, I'm going with who I race, who I've in the past raced with the most. I'm saying Danny Barnes has a good shot in this thing. I know he's a very good plate racer. He's a very good. He's got it figured out as far as his race go, and I know he'll come through at the end with his team. They all kind of work together, and I've seen it time and time again work in some of these Super Series that I've ran. So it's hard for me not to bet on Danny Barnes out here.
Who I'd like to point out is currently your race leader.
So You know, he's probably gonna watch us back and be like, well, he's just saying that because he paid for the stream. Not true. I do actually believe anybody's saying this. You're right, he is, for the moment, race leader. Al Likens on the outside. You know, I also wouldn't be surprised to see a Jeremiah Nelson or a Dawson Price. We've kind of seen them work their way up towards the front and put themselves in a winnable position numerous times this evening.
Already looking to make something happen out here is... I don't want to say we're there just yet, but we're starting to make our approach to the that point of the race where they're going to start to turn up the intensity and all the fight take place.
I'm not 100% sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if we need another fuel hit as well, but that's something we're just going to have to keep our eye on out here. Another shocking car that's kind of made his way back into the fight here, sitting in 7th place is Kenny McCullough.
And it looks like Al Likens is going to get split there by the 93, of Reagan Shockley.
Well, he gets split, but he's also going to find his way inside in front of the 88 of Jeremiah Nelson. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't good, but it wasn't the worst thing ever.
See that second group almost. Kyle Van Duren not doing the best right now, unfortunately. Having a rough time right now. They're still quite a bit off of those front runners.
Yeah, and just looking back there to a few laps ago, I think that was a very heads-up play by Bluegrass teammates Al Likens and Jeremiah Nelson to work together. The split happened, and the recovery was admirable because Al Likens is still in 6th place despite what could have been a disaster. I know we've seen some of these splits drop guys 20, 30 spots in the past. They're both in a good spot now, both linked up together, so could be a blessing in disguise, but ooh, that's a tight transfer up towards the front as we saw Kian Fry working his way around, and they're going to clear by 2, him and Reagan Shockley. Just a short 25 laps to go out here.
Reagan Shockley still leading this thing here in the Arizona Tea Machine. Kevin, I gotta ask you, if you had to pick a favorite tea, what would it be if you had to go to the grocery store or a gas station here? What's your gas station brand of tea?
Probably Twisted.
Yeah? Not a bad one?
Yeah.
You ever had a hoop tea? Very similar, but very good as well, if you like that one.
Reagan Shockley's still leading this thing. Up on that high side, but Kian Fry, who we've talked a lot about this evening, is leading that inside line.
Three wide now up there near the corner. Here's the 48. Jeffrey Bourne.
More transfers being made to that high side. Looks like another surge of that high line could be starting. But I'm also hearing that where see Jaden Knight enters pit lane.
Oh! I believe we just heard a motor blow from Jeremiah Nelson.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. And I'm pretty sure that's what we heard right there. We
Absolutely,
heard the
I'm
snap
seeing
and the
as
blow,
well.
yeah. Oh, no. And if he does not have a fast repair, that is going to be it on the night for him. Unfortunate is he's got the meatball. That's going to be a blown motor there for him, and very, very unfortunate there. Jeremiah Nelson, who was looking great all afternoon tonight. The leaders, being led by Al Lycan, are going to make their way across the front straightaway now, and they're going to bring it to 20 to go.
Yeah, and as bad as that was for Jeremiah Nelson, it opens a window to his teammate of Al Likens as he's made his way back to the front. Just a handful of laps ago, we were screaming about him getting split middle, which could have been detrimental, but it wasn't. And he's back to the lead. Oh, and there's the caution. I'm reading Jeremiah Nelson crashing.
And not too sure if that was just a late call or what. Yeah, it seems like it was just late to register for him. Unfortunate, but that's going to bring him back to the pits now, I do believe. Yep, he's going to go back and probably either take that fast repair or start packing up his things. And oh boy,
Favorite scheme
I
of the night.
was just reading that, Kevin. We got the question of the afternoon here. What are you taking?
Let me look through a few of them. See what I got here. What about you, Luke? I'll let you go first.
Well, I got a couple of them out here I liked so far. One of the main ones here from Mr. Omar Rodriguez here. Go ahead and take a look at the zoomed in here if it'll let me. Got the gold 92 there, Bulldog on the side. Representing the WWSS, just the classic. You know, the league scheme.
Yeah, that's a pretty good looking scheme. I've got to admit, I've been paying attention to that Al Likens scheme. I know
Amazon Prime, yeah.
The Amazon fan.
I was gonna say I order so much bullshit from there all the time.
Surely I can find something.
I found something.
I like the colors on Jeremy Osborne's schemes. Always kind of got a Ninja Turtle kind of vibe to it, in my opinion.
Take a look at the number 3. At the side of that car.
Yeah, that's a good looking one.
Mountains on the side there of the number 3. Making their way into the pits now is the field. Everybody going to be making the cycle.
Who was it earlier that we saw that was the Vice scheme? Was that Blaze Billing? That was a good looking car.
I believe so, yeah. Ooh, is it an automatic caution? Because he took a tow?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. It looked like he stopped on the track right before taking the tow, and maybe it triggered one.
That's got to be my guess there, yeah. And unfortunate there.
All right, Luke. Yeah, I found my my favorite scheme.
Yeah, what you got?
Check out the 32 of Jaden Knight.
Jaden Knight. Let's see what he's got. So far from what I'm seeing, it's a black scheme here.
That's not what it is for me.
What is it for you?
Shrek.
Let me go ahead and see if my trade paints is up to date. Well, it still shows there's a couple downloading, oddly enough. Go ahead and refresh it. Says they're all up to date, but a couple of them are loading in here. Saw a Target car out there. Was a classic.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Oh yeah, there it is. A donkey on the side.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna have to be my favorite of the evening.
That's yeah. I think Mr. Knight takes the cake for the best scheme of the night. If Ninth Gear were the decision makers, of course, on that one.
Thank God they aren't. But if you do want to get yourself a new, fresh paint scheme, head on over to 760 Graphics or contact Heath, Joe, or us, and we will redirect you for the best sim racing paint needs coverage in the business. Also, shout out RM, that's Skid Row Motorsports, for covering this race. Who's in contention out here, Luke?
Hey, you know, we got a lot of guys up there in contention up front here, and it's going to be an exciting one. Pace light, or the lights are off the pace car here, so we're going to be going green here once they make their way to the start-finish out here. And it's going to be 16 laps to go out here. We've crossed the threshold of these guys pussyfooting around, and it's time to make things happen out here. These guys are going to get ready to rock and roll out here. Is there a way we can put a prediction out there where everyone can lock their predictions in now? Either way. If not, let's hear everybody's predictions as of now. See what everybody's got to say. We're gonna be making our way through that final stretch now. The pace car's in. Al Likens with the jump here, going through the start finish, and here we go. Green, 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 racing again. Making their way up through the gears. Already reading trouble there through the front, and we are under pace again. Chris from McCullough involved, I believe Knight as well. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. And it looks like it was troubles
Just
off the
talking
jump.
about that paint.
Oh, man. It's a nasty little jump and collision there off the start. It looked like a little bit of an accordion effect if I had to take a guess out here. Yeah, and a bit of an accordion effect here leads to, no doubt, a couple damaged vehicles. Unfortunate, but now back to pacing. Here we are under our fourth caution. And we're going to have a little longer to think about those predictions, Kevin.
Well, not only that, but we're inching closer to that over now for the cautions.
Oh, that's right, we are. I remember I still had the under on that. I still stand true to it. I think they're going to pull it together here for the last one. I think we might see one more caution, though. Oh, you're still sitting on that over.
Yeah, you know, gotta stay true to it.
Who's number one Blaze Billing fan? I don't know. Who? Anybody in here? Who's the number one Blaze Billing fan out here on the evening?
You the number one Blaze Billing fan?
I can't say I know the guy too much, but somebody's requesting the number one fan. It looks like you found him, Mr. Matthew Wright. Boy, we got a couple competitors out there. Gonna bring us to 12 to go here once we go green. Danny Barnes is gonna be leading the outside line. Al Likens on the inside. We got some competition in the chat right now for number one Blaze Billing fan.
Still the Blaze Billing fan. Number one Jacob Petrowski fan has shown up.
We got a number one Kevin Tipton or Ninth Gear Broadcasting fan in the house.
I'd be the number one Let's Go Green fan. Because pace car has been out for quite a while.
Been out for a little bit. He's been logging a couple laps up there. He's definitely among our lap leaders out here of the afternoon.
That being said, Al Likens and Danny Barnes on this front row is probably going to put us in for a very good finish. I'd like to point out that Danny Barnes is on that outside line getting pushed around by longtime friend Kenny McCullough. So I would not be surprised if those two stay linked up for the remainder of this race if they can. Pace car is in though. We're going to have to see what happens. Green flag is the call. What could possibly be the last time of the season opener. We are going green and a big jump here for Al Likens.
A little bit of a bunch up there on that second line, but they're going to regain, get some speed here, start to reel back Al Likens.
Yeah, and here comes the huge run from that outside line as they all kind of get matched up and paired up on each other. Coming out of turn 2, a little bit shaky, but it's going to be enough to clear at least 2, 3. The dive in for Hunter Azell comes. Danny Barnes and Kenny McCullough opt to stay up top alongside Jeffrey Bourne now, but here they come dropping in into turn 3. Ooh, a very tight squeeze there for Jeffrey Osborne. Or Jeffrey Bourne, sorry. Out front remains Danny Barnes, and McCullough has managed to stay with them, but that outside line is going to have an angry Jeffrey Bourne and David McCullough to contest.
The sun is setting and the light fixtures are beginning to kick on out here, and we're starting to see some pretty wide situations going on. Christopher McCullough getting split. He's going to file back to 20th. And starting to get pretty competitive up here into the front. As it's going to be 10 to go this time by. Your top 20 will be shown on the pole now on the left side.
Yeah, and kind of how I mentioned right when we started to go green, Kenny McCullough has stayed on the back bumper of Danny Bones, and they have made it. Oh, and we're wrecking.
Oh my God.
We're still green. Very surprisingly, we're still green because that was a hard hit for Travis Farmer. And
Really
there's
not
the
hard enough to
caution.
make him give up. He's still driving out there, but back to pacing we go. As it sounded like Travis Farmer took a hard lick from what you said, Kevin. Let's bring that one back and take a look.
It was either Travis Farmer taking the hard lick or giving the hard lick.
Oh, man.
Looks like it's going to be giving. Well, honestly,
Little giving, little receiving.
I don't know if that's netcode or what that is, but it kind of looked like it was gone. It was bound to be a harder hit than it was, because he was going straight at. He's going straight at the 6 there, and then the 6 kind of just eats it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You know, I'm sorry to get a little off topic here, but the chat is mentioning Spectrum as an issue to be blamed for an incident here, and I gotta say, it's pretty funny to see everyone else is just as dissatisfied with Spectrum as we are.
Yep. If you guys could be surprised, Spectrum has been a longtime hater of Ninth Gear Broadcasting, and no one around here really likes it.
No, not particularly. Actually, I can't think of a single soul who does.
Now, like I was saying, kind of a hard hit that I thought would be harder because Travis Farmer hit the 6 car of Matt Morrison. I mean, damn near dead on, and Morrison just took it, and his car seems to be okay.
And, you know, we're seeing a couple guys making their way into the pits now. Most of the guys sitting from about 20th back. I imagine they're just wanting to get the fresher car to see if it'll give them an advantage to make up some positions here, as we are under 10 to go, and I believe it's going to take us to 6 to go when we go green out here, Kevin.
Ooh. The lucky dog on a mission.
The light is still on the pace car, so it'll take us to 6 to go when we go green out here. You know, we say it every time here, but I believe we'll be going green out here for the last time of the afternoon out here. See how that holds. Danny Barnes getting up there, waving at the pace driver. It is off the pace car, so we'll be going green out here this next time by, likely for the last time of the afternoon. Oh, should Triple R and Quadruple R run a special Freddy Fazbear scheme? Yes, 100%. I think they should. They got ninth gear's approval.
And if they need to find someone to make that scheme, Luke, I think 760 Graphics is a great place to look.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Kevin. Big thank you to them again for sponsoring the racing and the broadcast out here, of course.
We go through 3 and 4. A pace car will be going in this time. Possibly for the last time. I know I said it last time, but here we are again, as it's going to be 6 to go when we go green.
One can never truly know, but we'll see.
Danny Barnes is going to have the command with Kenny McCullough, who has fought through adversity tonight to get to the front row. Here we go. Green, green, green. Likens and Azell, the pushers to either side. Great jump for Danny Barnes. He's going to hop up in front of Kenny McCullough now. And they're going to work the outside line together. They're actually going to drop in and leave that outside to be handled by Al Likens.
Time of survival is over. It's time for some racing, and we already see someone going fast onto the inside line.
It's going to be...
I believe that is number 67.
Lap car of Henry Gensch. No, he's fine. Maybe Heath Job. I see him rating in pits. Who knows? We're still racing out here. Danny Barnes is still leading this thing, followed by McCullough and Azell, as they're about 3 deep single file before it's 2x2 all the way through the rest of the field.
Pushing's going on. We see the transfers being made, the lane changes. Everybody's shifting around out here. 3 wide in some places. Back to 2 for the most part. And it seems everybody's found the line they want. And it's the 19 of Hunter Azell leading this thing.
Yeah, and it's going to be a huge run for this outside line as they're going to clear by 3. And now it's kind of going to leave the 13 car. Oh, and there goes Danny Barnes
is sideways, so is the 13, and oh my goodness. Holy fuck.
Oh, and almost an incredible
God.
save by Danny Barnes. That is the big one.
Well, I think we might have jinxed ourselves by saying the last caution of the night. And Richard Elliott's driving sideways.
That was a huge wreck that started from very small contact.
Richard Elliott's driving sideways.
Yeah, that's...
Goodness. Yeah, and that was the nasty one of the night, Kevin. We're gonna have to go back and analyze that one, as that happened right up front after those transfers around Danny Barnes. I believe it's right back when they called up to him.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was just gonna be kind of an offset checkup / lack of checkup.
Now wait a minute. What happened up there to the 13 too?
Yeah,
I was gonna say
that might have been a bumper hook.
That might have been a bumper hook right there.
That was almost the same.
Literally,
no, that one was.
Just watch.
No,
There goes
yeah.
Danny, and there goes the 13. That's it. Literally couldn't have
Kind of
drawn that up.
the same thing.
Kind of the same thing there in the 13.
And then keep watching Danny here. I was watching him live, and I thought, I'll be damned, he saved it because I mean,
You see the chaos ensue.
yeah,
Through his
chaos
door.
is and sort of on his right side and behind him, but he's through it here, he's through it here, and then the 5
Aww.
inevitably gets
I think he
to
did
him.
have it there, though, for the most part, if the 5 doesn't make contact with him. But let's just go and watch that back from a blimp standpoint there, just so we can kind of get a view of everything that happened there. Jeez.
I'm seeing the 04 as well as who's in front of the 04 right now. I'm not even seeing. Oh, Chris McCullough and Buster Malcolm both sitting next to each other. Look at this. Can we get a rear chase as fast as you can for Christopher McCullough?
Christopher McCullough. You said nose.
Yeah, or rear chase. I want to see the guys behind.
All right.
And then I want you to fast forward past the wreck to everyone driving single file, because I see 6 cars without a front bumper, all in a line.
I see 1, 2. So we gotta probably go far forward pretty good.
Yeah, it was right before they came into the pits. I just saw I don't know if it was 6, a line of guys without a front bumper.
I believe it. I believe it. We saw a lot of vehicles involved back there on that one, and is unfortunately going to bring the incident counter up here to 6 on the afternoon. And
Starting to look like not that bad of a line, Luke.
yeah. And I still see a couple missing front bumpers looking through the field there, Kevin. A couple guys maybe not having the fast repair any longer.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat still talking about Blaze the Outlaw Billing. He's made his way up into 13th place. 23 sitting there below the yellow there without a bumper still. Gonna likely be making either his way into the pits here or running on some hopes and dreams out here. And a lot of the guys that have been running up front for a vast majority of this race are still up in the front.
Got a Regan Shockley fan in the chat. Currently running an 8th.
Very nice, very nice.
Triple R's positions are currently sitting at Nolan in 15th, Justin in 11th. Then I don't think Petrosky's racing. And Aiden in 6th. So, decent positions there. Aiden Stevens still has a chance out here.
Definitely a lot of potential winners out here. My pick, Omar Rodriguez, up into 8th. I know we had Danny Barnes there for a while. He's, I believe, currently sitting in 14th, down, but not out of this one. He's about in the middle of that outside line. It's going to bring us to 3 to go here when they cross the start-finish out here. maybe for the last time of the night. I know we've said that like 3 or 4 times, but we'll see out here if they can make it around a few more laps out here. Guys getting ready. The pace car is making its way in out here. Once again, maybe for the last time of the night. Hunter Rizal with the lead off the jump. Here we go. Green racing again.
Birdie. For what could this time be the last time.
Maybe. 2
Great
laps
jump
to go.
here for Hunter Rizal and Al Likens on the outside line, but the 78 of Garrett Hummel trying to make a charge there on the inside. We got some fresh names. And how about your preseason race winner, Omar Rodriguez, up into the top 5?
Looking to make history repeat itself. He was able to get it done at Talladega in the preseason race. And, some squirrely pushing on that second line.
Yeah, that's going to give a huge run to the 78 and the 74.
Oh, my God, and we're wrecking like shit from behind. Oh, my God!
Oh.
The 48 dies. Good Lord, that was such a hard hit. Jeffrey Bourne kisses the wall twice, and that likely will be it for his car if he is out of a fast repair. I'm seeing at least 4 donuts, or 4 meatballs on the RC right now, Kevin. And, you know, that brings us to our 7th caution. We are officially at the line. But, once again, a gnarly collision, Kevin. And it sounds like it happened right behind Blaze Billings, so we're going to actually just watch the rear chase here. Oh my, it really does.
Well, that is a hit.
Definitely a nasty one there for Bourne. Unfortunately, I believe that's probably gonna about do it for him, I think.
I know we had a Triple R fan in the chat. Aiden Stevens now top 3 right now.
Definitely some nice position to gain there from some drivers, but a couple of races maybe ended there for a few more. As we are officially at the line.
The under's still in play if we don't get another caution. Let's see what chat's thinking. Right now it is off 18 votes, 56-44. Very close. Last time it was 4 green, white checkers. Let me check and see if that's still the case out here. Well, it's not saying, so I'm gonna imagine it's the same 4 overtime green, white checkers. The 4th one, they'll just run it completely out with no cautions. And the lights come off on the pace car. That means this is last time out. As everyone's choosing their lane. We're going to be going green next time by.
Could be Garrett Hummel here with the lead on the inside. Hunter Azale on that second line.
Yeah, Hummel and Azell, who've both had pretty solid races out here, are going to be fighting it out on the front row. But how about Al Likens? Starting in 5th place, we've seen him starting in 4th place, sorry. We've seen him all day just fighting his way to the front. Omar Rodriguez, same story.
Gonna bring us, is that our first green white checkered, or is that officially our second? That last one count for one?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it counted, so I think this is gonna be our second.
Do we know how many we get here tonight, or?
4.
Okay, I gotcha. So we got a few more if we need it.
Pace car is in. It's going to be a green-white checkered here under the lights with Garrett Hummel and Hunter Azell on the front row. A good jump there for Hummel. You see Azell bounce back, though, through the gears. Being pushed around by the 9 car of Al Likens. A lot of separation there on that second line between the second car back and the 3rd car back. Let's see if they can close that gap here. As of right now, it seems like there's a decent bit more coordination going on that inside line. Coming out of turn 2, a huge shot from Likens into the back end of Hunter Azell, and they are moving down the backstretch. They're going to clear by 2. Oh, and there goes the 19 of Hunter Azell.
He is flying through the grass with speed. He's going to come back up onto the track, and oh my god! Holy shit, and the 67 goes flying. That's going to bring us to the 8th caution of the night.
Oh!
And Kevin, when it rains, it pours.
Woo!
Jeez.
That was a hard hit into Jeremy Osborne.
And that was, what, the number 19 up there leading that one in the front? Hunter Azell. We're gonna watch that from a cockpit view here to start. He's leading that second line.
Not much he can do. No braking working in the grass.
No.
He's hooked it to the left. He's locked up.
And I believe we saw Henry Gensch is the one that took flight there at the end of that. I don't think he's expecting the car to come flying back up in front of him, that's for sure. But he gets sent for a whirl there. And I know he's been involved in a few more today. I imagine that's probably going to be the end of his vehicle and the end of his race tonight, but yeah, that's kind of hard for your brakes on the gas, or when you're in the grass, Kevin.
Yeah.
Or to slow down from 180 in the grass, that's for sure. But I think that's going to take us to our 3rd green-white checkered of the night, meaning we got one more left if need be.
Your top 5, as it reads, is Kean Fry, Dawson Price, Al Likens, Regan Shockley, and Aiden Stevens. The biggest mover of the day, as it stands, is Buster Malcolm, up 24 spots from his original spot. The worst mover that's still on track, I'm seeing, is going to be Kenny McCullough, down 14 off the pole. It's been an up and down race from start to finish, Luke.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Kevin. It's been a wild one out here. We've seen quite the violent wrecks out here, to say just the least. We started off with, I believe, just shy of 40 drivers, and now on the lead lap, I believe we are sitting just over 20. So we can get the split up here. Yeah, we're at least reading the top 28 on the track still. Some in the pits, some out there driving, but at least 28 still registered in the vehicles. And yeah, Kevin, I gotta say, I gotta give it to you. The over has won.
Yeah, you know, Luke, I thought it was down, I thought it was out, but we've seen a plethora of incidents here in the last 20 laps. And I'll be honest, Luke, I think we've even seen some that could have been argued to be cautions that stayed green. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
I guess by the 3 or more rule, I guess no, but we've seen 2 cars take some pretty hard hits. They're green out here. Doesn't matter, though, because the pace car's lights have gone off, which means we have to lock in here, because in a lap, we will be going green for the 3rd of a possible 4 green-white checkers, with Kean Fry in the command, and a very cool scheme. I'm trying to see what that is representing. EP Fox Racing and Angie Pauls. Well, I like the colors. Not sure what any of that means, but the colors are cool.
Absolutely. As we might be going green out here for the last time of the night again. We've seen it all tonight. We've seen flying cars. We still see cars out there missing their front bumpers. The man that took flight in the 67 is still out here driving, Kevin. Henry Gensch is determined to finish this race after taking flight in that last incident.
Yeah, and he started in last place, so I mean, in theory, anything is up from that, and he's up 14 spots on the race, so not a terrible run. I mean, you got to think this is a long 14-race season, so any points that these guys can scrounge up, whether it's from getting 20th place or 1st place, it's going to be important.
Yeah, and I think they about busted out every zip tie and roll of duct tape they had in the pit stall to get him back out there and get him to finish this race. Granted, he's, I believe, down a lap, but he's still in this thing, so we'll see here.
Pace car goes in. It's going to be Kean Fry, Dawson Price, front row. 2 guys we've talked about a lot. Can they get it done? A good jump there on the inside for Kean Fry, as he's going to be clear by as much as he wants. He's going to go up and try to slow down that outside line. It's going to be hard because they have a lot of momentum. But it's going to work as the 54 of Dawson Price is going to file in behind them. That outside line is moving. But how about the 9 car of Al Likens getting something going on the inside when there doesn't seem to be much help? Got to turn 2. See a little bit of wall contact there towards the back. But so far, so clean. Down the backstretch for the 2nd to last time if we stay green.
Everyone's trying to make something work, and we see contact with the wall back there from someone.
Oh, and there goes the 9 car of Al Likens.
They're still bumping around. Kenny's in the wall hard back there. Will we see a white flag? We will. They're wrecking out hard, and there's the white flag. Oh boy, Kevin, and half the field's gone as we start the last lap. Round and round we go into turn 1. It's Reagan Shockley leading this thing. Matt Morrison
Yeah, Reagan
hot on his
Shockley
bumper.
here is getting pushed around by the 9 car of Matt Morrison and Aiden Stevens. But they are all still not lined up, Luke. It still seems kind of messy.
Oh,
And there goes the
hard into
93.
the wall. Reagan Shockley hits the wall. 3 more collide, and they're fanned out for a 3-wide finish. The 74 files back in. The 78 going to try to get any bit of side draft he can. He's going to get right on his door. Oh, man, there's the contact. They touch. The 78's going to try to get any speed he can, but the 74, the win's going to go to the number 6, Matt Morrison. And he's going to win
Matt
it.
Morrison able to hold them off in what was a very, very dramatic finish.
Oh, geez, Kevin. We saw a pile up there right at the start of the white flag and a bit of a stack up there on the backstretch on the white flag, but Matt Morrison still manages to come out and get it done out on top.
Wow, what a finish.
And we see out there the... we see the fireworks going off. For Matt Morrison out here at Daytona, the lights are on, the sun has set, and Matt Morrison comes out on top. As we wait for the results to roll through. It was a wild ending to a wild race out here, Kevin. We had the over on the caution counter out here. We saw 8. Matt Morrison, though, able to persevere. He's going to make his way down to the Daytona Tri-Oval and start to burn it down across those letters.
And do we have the official results in that I can go ahead and read off?
Now we do. They just came through, coming up on screen now.
How about Matt Morrison getting it done here? Second place is going to go to Aiden Stevens. Third place to Garrett Hummel. Buster Malcolm and Nicholas Warner take up 4th and 5th. Omar Rodriguez, Dawson Price, Travis Farmer, Blaze Billing, and AJ Likens as your top 10. Nick Hames, Kenny McCullough. Then we have Shockley. And my thing is freezing. A second. Then Van Drunen, Zemecki, McCullough, Fry, Barnes, Gross, Elliott, Osborne, Gensch, Bourne, Ezel, Knight, Swafford, Marino, Christopher McCullough, Zeb Johnson, Jeremiah Nelson, Houston Galena, Keith Job, James Hudson, Daryl Washington, or Daryl Johnson. Man, I'm tired. Ty Carino and and Race Control rounding out the field. But let me see if I can get some interviews in here. I know I want to try to get the top 3 if I can, but I also don't think I can drag.
Yeah, we don't exactly have... don't know if we really can do that. Nope, cannot. Definitely need that. We have any way to get these interviews done or no?
Yep, working on it.
Gotcha. Well, either way, as we wait for...
I'm gonna go.
What's up?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go figure it out.
Okay. As Kevin goes and figures that one out here, we're going to go ahead and go back and take a look at what happened there at the start of the white flag. We can break down that a little bit. Saw the number 9 get super loose there and slide out there on the inside, and jeez. That was a big one, all right. I know we saw one here just on the back straightaway as well.
All right, I got it figured out, and I'm ready to get these interviews started.
Alrighty, what do we got?
First off, let's get our race winner, Matt Morrison, over here and see what he has to say about that finish.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, man. How about that finish? What a race. You started on that last restart there from about 6th position, and there was a lot of chaos there. You want to talk us through how you were able to get through that and ultimately put yourself in a winning position?
Pretty much closed my eyes and held it down and wasn't lifting until I saw God or a checkered flag. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a race, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think the 9 or something got sideways or something off the final corner or something, or before the white. I don't know. But C's parted. I didn't lift. I was pushing Regan there, and the ARCA car, they don't push for anything. Like, I was trying to push him. I just wanted to finish. I didn't care where I finished. I just wanted to finish. But yeah, I got a little too close to him on the backstretch and a bad push and took him out. So I feel bad about that. That's not how I wanted to do it. But yeah, and then I don't know. I thought for sure I was going to get passed again going to the checker, but nobody did. So awesome. Good. Finally get a win. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a great race, and it seemed like kind of there towards the end, the bumper hooks that the ARCA car is kind of known to bring started coming into effect. I wanted to kind of ask you about earlier in the race. We saw a couple occasions some guys were getting in wrecks involving some lap traffic. You know, how were you able to avoid that and keep your car clean enough to even, get to that last stint?
Stay as far away as possible. Yeah, there were somewhere hang on the wall, somewhere hang on the inside. I know there was kind of something that said that they should hold the inside. I mean, as long as you hold your line, that's all that really cares. I mean, but it was wild. Yeah, I think I was in 2 wrecks there. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a real good strategy to win these things. Just try and stay clean. But even if you don't stay clean, you're not out of it. So, yeah, that was wild. Can't believe it.
Absolutely. Well, a great way to start the season here. We're headed to Phoenix next week. I'm not sure if that's kind of, your pace or going to ride the high of the win here tonight at Daytona. But either way, congratulations on taking the checkered flag. And anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, Phoenix will be a good race. Short track's usually pretty good, but we'll see. But yeah, definitely going to ride the high on the Daytona win. Definitely want to shout out to my teammates, all 3 of them, actually 4 of them tonight. The 09 Travis, Hunter in the 19, David in the 13, and then the 5 and the 12. I know they didn't have a good night, but we're all part of the same team. So big shout out to the boys. First win for Elite Motorsports. That's pretty awesome. Glad to get that one done. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to the kids. Shout out to my mom. So yeah, just hopefully they all watched. I know my wife did. She just texted me. So yeah. So thanks for you for putting on the broadcast. We appreciate that. Always good to see. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. We appreciate it, and congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Matt Morrison getting it done here in the season opener with I mean, just everything going crazy there at the end, Luke. Able to get through. Next up, I want to talk to our second place finisher out here, Aiden Stevens. He had some fans in the chat here coming down to the wire, and he was able to get it done. Let me pull him on over. Hey, Aiden, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Hey, man, how about that race? That was quite the finish. I know some guys are going to be happier than others, but I'd imagine you're on the happier side, able to get a podium out of tonight. Talk us through that last restart, and how you were able to stay out of what was a lot of chaos.
Coming to the white flag there, I'm not sure what happened with the 9. I don't know if he got loose or if I dumped him or what, so my bad to him. Backstretch, I mean, I just kept my foot in it. I was just going. The 78 car, I felt like had damage, so I had to get by him as soon as possible. That was the restart prior. But On the backstretch, I seen the winner ended up getting into it with the leader at the time. Watching the stream to try and catch up here. And then I thought about taking it 3 wide going into turn 3. Don't know if it would have worked. Decided, oh, I'll just stay behind the 6 car there, or 9 car, 6 car. And the 78 side draft just killed me. I couldn't do anything with it. And eventually, as you see, coming to the checkered flag, the leader started to pull away. And all I could do was just hang on for second.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like you were kind of gridlock boxed in there coming to the line with the 78 on your right side. But all in all, a great finish to your evening here and a great start to the season, getting second in points. Now we're headed to Phoenix next week, and I know a lot of guys out here are saying that it's a little bit harder of a track than Daytona. You think you're gonna have a good shot to keep the momentum flowing at Phoenix?
Short tracks for me are hit or miss. I know in the Cup cars I can run Phoenix pretty well. Don't know about the ARCA cars, but short tracks for me has always been hit or miss. Some tracks are good, other tracks not so good.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on getting a podium out here. And you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
My team, Triple R Racing. Some of my teammates were helping me out there, and yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to Triple R Racing and shout out to you for getting it done here at Daytona. Congratulations.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks. That was Aiden Stevens getting it done in second place. Last interview I want to get in is going to be your third place finisher of Garrett Hummel, who had a very good run throughout the race. I think out of those 3 guys that we've interviewed or going to interview, I think we talked about Garrett the most tonight. Luke, he was kind of holding a pretty decent position throughout the evening.
Yeah, we see it a bit of a close call there, right at the start of the white flag, but he managed to hold on to it and steal himself a third place finish.
Hey, Garrett, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, what a race and what a finish. I know I just talked to the guys in first and second place, and both of them kind of told me the same thing, how they kind of just held their foot down and prayed there on that last lap. You want to talk us through, kind of what you saw out of your cockpit there on that final lap that was able to make keep your car clean, I should say?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did too. I kept that gas pedal down, and that was all I had to do to try to win. I saw the incident with the 9 coming off turn 4. I tried to stay on the bumper of the 74, hoping to push him up front. And then coming down the backstretch after the white flag, saw the 93 get turned. So when the 3 of us got split up, I think I had too much momentum to safely get back to the 74 and push him. So I just tried to go to the outside. Looked like it was going to go 3 wide from my side view, and tried as hard as I could to side draft him and try to pull the 6 back to me and hopefully be side by side with him.
Yeah, and that side draft was deadly out there. I know I haven't ran the ARCA car personally in a long time, but it seemed like you were able to keep the, I think it was 74 at bay, but unable to get to Matt Morrison. Is there anything you would try differently going to the checkered flag there? You think it was kind of, set in stone what was going to happen there with that positioning?
I think the only thing different I would have done was stay behind the 74 and try to push him around the 6 and see if I could have got next to him instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of an impossible decision to make there with very short time and a lot going on the track. But a great finish for you, able to get a podium in the season opener out here. And we're headed to Phoenix next week. I wanted to ask how you feel about Phoenix. I know some guys are short track fans, some guys aren't.
Well, I love short track racing, but Phoenix can be a hit or miss for me. If I'm running truck or Xfinity, I seem to do really well there. Cup is okay. IndyCar, haven't run it too much. I don't think I've run this ARCA car there at all yet, so I'm excited to see how this car handles out there.
Absolutely, and we're excited to see if you can carry the momentum as well. So we'll see you next week, and congratulations on the success out here, Garrett. Anything you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my wife and my dad, my stepdad, and all 3 were watching tonight. Shout out to Slightly Dangerous Racing. I'm a part of that group. Great bunch of guys. A lot of fun during the race on the Discord. And yeah, I'm just excited to get out to Phoenix and see what I can do.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate the interview and congratulations on the success here tonight at Daytona.
Thank you. Hope everyone enjoyed the race tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was Garrett Hummel getting it done. In third place out here, our last podium finisher that we are going to talk to, Luke. How about that race?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, it was an exciting one out here at one of our favorite tracks, of course. I think it was a good one to really set the tone of how this race and this season's going to go out here. It was an exciting one. We had a good mix of everything. We saw flying cars. We saw some heartbreaking nights for some drivers and some triumphant rides for some others. But either way, it was an exciting night out here at the Daytona International Speedway. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I've got to agree. I mean, we saw a little bit of everything. We got the green flag pits in. We got the long run. We got, Lord knows, we got the cautions and the wrecks and the flips and the engines blown. So I think it was a perfect race to start the season, and I'm super excited to see. Just looking at the next 3 weeks, we're gonna go to Phoenix, then Iowa, then Five Flags. So it's gonna be just a complete day and night situation here from Daytona, just flipping it on its head. And I'm so excited to see what these drivers can bring to the table on some tracks like that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Kevin. And if we don't have anything else out here, obviously a big thanks to the sponsors out here of the race out here of the afternoon. Big thank you to the drivers out here for putting on a nice show for us. Congratulations to Matt Morrison out here for getting the win on the afternoon, and we will see you guys next week.